and welcome back to Football Newsroom. Today we are going to be discussing the match between Barcelona and Valencia and take a closer look to Quique Setien's Barcelona and the positives and negatives of this side. So Barca started his game with their usual 4-3-3 system, but it changed to a 3-1-2-4 formation with possession. Alba moved up while Roberto stayed back to form a back three with Pique and Umtiti. Busquets played in between the opposition's midfield and forward line and tried to link up play with his quick one-touch passes to the midfielders and to Alba. Moreover, the three midfielders of Barcelona, Arthur, Busquets and De Jong, were always switching their positions looking for spaces in between the lines. But, in general, De Jong in this game had a far more defensive role and Arthur was given more freedom to move up the pitch. I believe the reason for that is very simple. Down the left-hand side of the pitch, Barcelona have a proper fullback with Jordi Alba, who can always come back and help in the defense. But down the right-hand side, things are not really that way. Ansu Fati is very good with his attacking qualities, but unlike Alba, he can't help out in the defense. So, Quique Setien decided to keep De Jong a little deeper to help support the defense. But in this game, it didn't really work out. We're going to come on to that a little later after we discuss the role of every player. Up front, Messi was given a free roll down the central areas of the pitch. He was always coming in deep and playing in between the lines, trying to link up play with his midfield and the wingers. Griezmann was very narrow on the left-hand side of the pitch and tried to cover up on the central areas as well. Whenever Messi got deeper, he tried to occupy the centre backs to allow Messi a little more space. Ansu Fati had a very similar role to Jordi Alba. Their role was to stay wide and occupy the opposition fullbacks and create more space for Griezmann and Messi. Quique Setien's Barcelona is based on possession of the ball. They want to dictate the play and break the opposition down the central areas of the pitch. Moreover, they also look to exploit the wider areas whenever they can with Alba and Ansu Fati. But in this game, it didn't really work out because of Valencia's excellent defensive organization. Valencia defended in their usual 4-4-2 system and they tried to cover the wingers with either their wide players or their fullbacks. Down the left, Gaia was always covering Fati, and down the right hand side of the pitch, Ferran Torres were moved down to cover Jordi Alba. Moreover, they had a very well organized high press and Barcelona couldn't really work this out with their quick one-touch passes. Valencia offered Barca no time and space with the ball in the final third and this pushed Barca a little deeper. They generally maintained possession in the middle of the park and there was no threat of the goal, so Valencia were happy. And this was the downside of too much possession for Barcelona. They almost had around 63% possession in this game, but it didn't really work out for them in the final third of the pitch. They failed to create clear-cut chances in the final third of the pitch and they just kept the ball for the sake of having it. In this game, we have to give credit to Valencia and their excellent defensive organization. Kondogbia and Francis Coquelin didn't really offer Messi much space and were always keeping a close eye on him. Both of them together made 19 ball retrievals and were crucial in breaking down every Barcelona attack. Down the wider areas, Ferran Torres generally covered Jordi Alba and Gaia covered Ansu Fati. Daniel Vaz was given the role to cover Griezmann and whenever he tucked in the central areas, the centre backs were free to cover him. The Barca midfielders were very deep and were not making runs to exploit the half spaces. Moreover, with Suarez missing, they didn't really have a proper number 9 to aim at for the long balls. Thus, Barcelona kept switching play from one side to the other with no real threat. Quique Setien also wants his side to press high up the pitch without possession. But in this game, the defensive line didn't really push up with the midfield line and thus space was offered between the midfield and defensive line. This space was often exploited by the Valencia strikers and the midfielders who moved down. This was a major blow for Barcelona. During this phase, they were always vulnerable at the back with dangerous 2v3 or 3v3 situations. Moreover, as we have discussed on numerous occasions before, Barca are very vulnerable down the wider areas of the pitch. They generally love to defend with their 4-man back line, but with Alba moving up, Umtiti had to cover the space for him. So, Umtiti moved wider to cover the space for him. Pique was central, and Sergi Roberto was very narrow on the right-hand side of the pitch. And this is where the problem lied for Barcelona. As Roberto moved narrow, there was acres of space for the wide midfielder of Valencia and sometimes even for the striker who moved wider. This was how Valencia got their second goal. Roberto was far more central, concerned about Ferran Torres, and Maxi Gomez was left on a lot of space down the left-hand side of the pitch. Moreover, problems were not created only when the ball was on the left-hand side of the pitch, but also when the ball was on the right-hand side of the pitch of Barcelona's defense. During that phase, generally Roberto would have to step out to close down the gaps of the wide Valencia player, and that would leave acres of space between Quique and Roberto. Here we see another example. Roberto has stepped out and gone out to press the wide man, while that leaves acres of space between Quique and Roberto. That leaves a Valencia man in the area who looks to exploit that space. Quique Setien needs to address a lot of issues before the Champions League classes are coming up for Barcelona. I think firstly, they need to make out more of their possession, otherwise it doesn't really help. They need to create more chances and be more clinical in the final third. Secondly, I believe they need a proper number 9. With Suarez gone, they need a target man. He also needs to find a solution to his peculiar defensive system. Playing with a back three, you need 2 proper wing-backs who can always track back and help you in the defensive areas. But Barcelona are not really playing with 2 wing-backs. They have Jordi Alba on the left-hand side of the pitch, but Ansu Fati is not really a wing-back. Ansu is not as good as Jordi Alba defensively, and indirectly that's what hurt Barcelona in this game. Barcelona always had to reorganize their relative structure, and it didn't really work out in this game. Setien clearly needs to find an answer to this. He wants his side to defend in a back 4 but attack in a back 3, and it's not really helping in the reorganization phase. So that's about it for today, guys. Thank you for joining me. Stay tuned to the channel as more interesting videos will be coming up.